What I'm seeing from founders is that they still want to grow 100% plus over the next year. The problem is that the headwinds are going to be intense.
A lot has happened in 2022. Let's start from the beginning. Markets were falling, crypto was falling, but people thought it was just, a correction at the end of 2021, leading into 2022, and things would start picking up again. But actually, that didn't happen.
If you're a founder, if you don't start acting in a more capital efficient way and preserve your cash, your company is ultimately going to be owned by a private equity firm, and they're going to make all the money.
Jerome Powell had to come in and fix the problem. Increase interest rates 50 points, 75 points at a time. So valuations got cut.
Now, a new founder, when it does the expected value calculation of whether it makes sense to devote their career to being a founder, they realize it might not bring fame, it might bring prison, and instead of bringing $100 million valuations, it'll bring $10 million valuations with a lot more risk.
So what's going to happen in 2023? 2023 is a whole different year. As we embark on this year now, we're going to see some of the most complex changes, and let's break them down. The number one thing I'm talking about right now is OpenAI releasing their GPT-4, which is a 100 trillion parameter model. This is going to be bonkers. Significantly huge model, about 587 times greater than its current state. This could change everything when it comes to work and business. The number two thing I'm looking at is soft landing. So we're looking at a position now where Jerome Powell's trying to softly land our economy to a place where we kind of scrape the bottom of where we are, we can start picking up again. But there's a lot of speculation that might not happen. They're saying that people are running out of money. Like if you look at the linear curve of access to cash from people in the bank accounts is going down, while also the uses of credit cards are going up. So even if there's a soft landing, those trajectories are still going that way. And if companies begin to start have that same trajectory, right, a lot of companies are going to begin to start to default, and companies will go out of business, and people don't have any money to survive that, and it's going to be a significant cycle. And they're saying it could happen by June this year. The next item is the explosion of AI software. Now, you might say, okay, well, we already had this before, right? No, here's the difference. AI, because of GPT 3.5 and 4 probably coming on the way, it needs to become API services, which already is in service now in GPT 3. You're going to see a lot more companies now shift from just traditional software to complex systems. I mean, let's break this down. AI software, just based on using prompt engineering. Now, prompt engineering won't be around for long. I know that Sam Altman said he wants to help remove prompt engineering from this. So then a lot of people who are building these products using prompt engineering might end up, have to find a different methodology. So far, we have seen generated text, generated visuals and images, generated audio, generated voices. What we have not seen yet is long form video connecting with sounds, music, and voice. If that can merge into something, that would be profound. It will definitely impact creators initially as a low-hanging fruit and slowly work its way up to actual Hollywood level movies. Next, of course, is generating music. It goes back with the other theme of generating movies. Right now, imagine if you put into a prompt that I want to have a song by a certain person that gives a certain feel and, give the context of what you want the song to be about. Literally, you can create a Drake song literally about like beans and chili, as this guy had created here.
Let's see if AI can make a better Drake song than Drake. Write a Drake verse about how he doesn't like beans and chili. Pull this up in Ableton.
Stick to my guns and say no to the beans. I don't like them in my chili. It's just how it's gonna be. I don't want no kidney beans.
The next thing is going to be mobilization of jobs. So jobs are not going to be as static as they were before. I talked about this in a video about how jobs are going to be changing. You can look up here. The model might change. So you, me, people in general, gotta see how are we going to embrace this new world of AI literally doing a lot of jobs that we do, and then how do we fit in this model? So a lot of it takes a lot of work from us to figure this out, like where do we fit in this puzzle? And it's good to start early, because later that we start, we kind of get behind the band. Whereas if we were at the beginning or the head of the process, we would be, quickly and easier to adapt.
So figuring out when we're gonna like disrupt so much of economic activity, and even if it's not all disrupted by 20 or 30 years from now, I think it'll be clear that it's all going to be. What is the new social contract? Like my guess is that the things that we'll have to figure out are how we think about fairly distributing wealth, access to AGI systems, which will be like kind of the commodity of the realm, and governance, like how we collectively decide what they can do, what they don't do.
The last thing I want to say for 2023 is going to be winner takes all. It's going to be kind of difficult. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be one of those situations where 2022 played out the landscape. Where 2023 is going to be. 2023 is going to be a pretty competitive year, where everyone's trying to fight for their ability to produce, create, develop, design, and put their perspective into the world. And that's either through some products, that's either through corporate, or even through the personal level. All these things are going to be built. You can see it now. Everyone's creating things and content on YouTube and TikTok, and so many things and so many platforms are giving rise to user-generated content, and that can be in any discipline. 2023 is going to be an interesting year. So it's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's talk about a few things that could help. First thing is, don't wait for anything. As a matter of fact, things are not going to wait for you. So I'm thinking, while the train is about to come, let me get a head start of running and then jump on the train, because the train's not going to stop. And that metaphor is used because a lot of stuff is going to be happening around us, and it's not going to wait for us to figure things out. So a lot of times it's getting ahead of stuff before they come down the pipeline. Don't wait until the pipeline comes down before you say, okay, let me think about this. It should be, hey, I'm already prepared for that before it comes.